This is the size of your baby's tummy on day 1, and this is the amount of formula recommended for a 1-day-old. It is 6 times more than their actual stomach capacity. Why? Because it's a static nutritional food. They need this much amount for them to get the nutrients they need. In this video, we're going to be talking about the most incredible food for your baby, your colostrum. We're going to talk about what it is, why it's so great, what it does for baby, what it does for you, and how to harvest it, how to get it out. By the end of this video, I hope you are as in awe of your body as scientists are. Your body's amazing. Grab a cup and let's talk. I think there's a big misunderstanding when it comes to how much milk baby needs in the first few days, because we're looking at how small the quantity of colostrum is, and then we're comparing it to how much formula there is in this serving size. So it feels like it's not enough. What is colostrum? Colostrum's the first milk your body's ever going to make, and it's already producing it when you're pregnant. Sometimes if you hand express, you might notice some colostrum leaking out, and you can collect this. We'll get into that soon. Colostrum is called liquid gold for a reason. Yes, it is yellow, it is sticky, it is golden in color, but it is also packed with nutrients, with lactoferrin, with oligosaccharides, with all sorts of things that are going to protect your baby. Colostrum gives your baby a fighting chance to fight off all of these things that are coming around them, to coat their gut, and to set them up for success. Colostrum is really high in antibodies. Antibodies are also known as immunoglobulins. They help boost their immune system and protect them from infection. Colostrum has a lot of lactoferrin. So if you imagine your house, there's a wasp. If you imagine your immune system as a house, and there's windows and there's doors, you have like a security system. So whoever wants to get in, they're gonna have a hard time getting in, but there is still ways for them to get in. Lactoferrin is like the guard dog. It's that added security that's running around and looking for intruders and trying to scare them off before they even get a chance to break in through the window. That's what lactoferrin is. And your colostrum is packed with lactoferrin. It is giving your baby this huge boost to fight and to protect. Oligosaccharides are the third most common component in breast milk, and they help protect babies against something called NEC, necrotizing enterocolitis. This is another reason why breast milk and colostrum is highly, highly recommended if you have a preterm baby, if you have anything. It's highly recommended for everybody, but especially in the cases of preventing against NEC, because formula is not sterile. I mean, we have seen there has been a massive recall because babies were getting very sick because it got contaminated. There's a number of ways it can get contaminated. Formula is not the safest option for your baby. Your colostrum, your breast milk is. It also has a laxative effect, so it helps your baby digest it more quickly and poo. Why is this important? We want them to poo on that first day because pooing is one way to prevent jaundice. Now, jaundice is the buildup of these red blood cells that are not getting cleared out of the body. And there's a couple different ways that this happens. It gets cleared out, but the one big one is through pooing. And your colostrum, it helps them digest that quicker, get it out of their body, reduce the level of jaundice. Now, how does this benefit you? Getting colostrum out of your body, it's going to stimulate uterine contractions. This is uncomfortable because now you're having these contractions after you've had a baby. But it's important because it's pushing out that extra blood, it's pushing out that tissue, it's getting our organs to contract back into the places that they were originally and the sizes that they were originally. We want uterine contractions. This is a good thing. It can help keep us healthy, it can help keep us safe. And getting milk out, breastfeeding, getting colostrum out, this is one great way to stimulate uterine contractions. Research has shown that breastfeeding also reduces the chance of developing breast cancer. So the more you breastfeed, the longer you breastfeed, the more reduced your risks are for getting breast cancer. And if you can realize how powerful your colostrum is, it comes out in small drops for a reason. It can just set you up to leave the hospital feeling like a champion, you know, that you can do it, that you gave your baby this liquid gold. in just a few drops, that even those few drops help them so much. Now, let's get into how to harvest colostrum through hand expression. With hand expressing, you're going to use your knuckles to gently massage around the breast. You'll do this for about 3 minutes, and this just loosens up the tissue to get comfortable. You can also add warmth to help soften up the breast. And then do a little nipple stimulation to help to get the hormones going that are needed for milk release. Okay, and then now we're ready. We're going to take a C shape, which is basically like if you're holding a cup, that's a C shape. You're going to put it around where the areola is, and then take 2 fingers behind your thumb, and now that is the new placement for your hand. Compress down, push forward. You might notice this is when milk will start coming out. You can collect it right into a cup. You can also use these Haka collectors, which I love. This part pops right off. And so you can just put this straight onto the nipple as it's getting the milk out and collect it this way. Colostrum just comes out a little at a time, right? It's going to drip down. You can use these to just suction it right in. And then you give this to baby. Love these things. Common questions and some responses. Number 1, can you run out of colostrum? If you start harvesting at like 37, 38 weeks, can you run out of colostrum and now your body won't make enough for your baby? You will keep producing colostrum until the placenta leaves your body. Then you'll have that colostrum, like the thick, sticky colostrum, for about 2 or 3 days, and then your milk is going to transition to the more watery, more engorged, like fuller milk. You will still have colostrum in your milk up to 6 weeks after birth, and you might notice it in the different colors that your milk is coming. And if you start to get sick, the colostrum is going to boost in your milk, and it'll turn a little bit more yellow again. Or if your baby is sick, you might notice your breast milk changing. You're going to have colostrum. So if you hand express, if you collect, if you get a bunch of colostrum out, you will still have colostrum for your baby, but you can store what you do get out for later. Can you give colostrum to older babies? Colostrum is not just beneficial for a newborn, it is beneficial for everybody. If I got a cut, I would put a little bit of colostrum on it and it would help fight any kind of bacteria that's coming. If you have an eye infection, colostrum is a powerful liquid, no matter who it's given to. When can I start collecting colostrum? You can start, talk to your doctor, of course, because your circumstance might be different. But if you are healthy, you're having a very safe pregnancy, you're expected to make it to 40 weeks, you could start collecting your colostrum around 37, 38 weeks through hand expression. Don't use a pump to collect colostrum. Only use hand expression. How long does it take for colostrum to turn into breast milk? This depends on the type of birth you had. If you had a vaginal birth, it'll take about 2 days, 48 hours after the placenta leaves your body for the milk to transition to more mature milk. And if you had a C-section, it could take up to 72 hours or 3 days after the placenta leaves your body for that milk to transition from just like a spoonful to an ounce. Does colostrum mean good supply? Colostrum doesn't necessarily indicate that you're going to have a big supply. It's all about breast growth during pregnancy and how frequently we're removing milk, because our body is this wonderful machine that is so intuitive and it learns. And when it comes to our breast milk, and our milk production. If we're producing colostrum and then we don't really get any milk out, our milk supply is going to drop. We need to keep getting milk out every 2 to 3 hours. That is what's going to help keep your milk supply steady and growing, unless you have certain medical conditions like this. How much colostrum does my baby need on day 1? So we talked about their stomach size. Some people are saying it's 5 milliliters. Some researchers are saying it's up to 10 milliliters, which is basically 2 syringes or two of these per feed. It comes out very slowly. So, and it's good because it's our baby's first time nursing. So imagine if like they're just trying and they're trying for the first time and then they just get like sprayed in the mouth. It's coming out very slowly, very easy. It's encouraging them to work. But if you are hand expressing and you're seeing it fill a spoon, that's perfect. Give that to your baby. Let them latch on. For the most part, a lot of babies are more effective at removing milk than our hand expressing or our pumping. So let them latch, let them get it out. Feed them every 2 to 3 hours. You might notice that on day 1, they're extra sleepy, especially if you've given birth in a hospital, because a lot of times we're given some medication before birth, and this medication makes us sleepy and it makes them sleepy. They might be difficult to rouse, but feed them as often as you can. Keep them skin to skin. But baby needs on day 1, they need about 8 to 12 sessions of feeding, and they need 5 milliliters to 10 milliliters per feed. What I always did to kind of encourage myself was just hand express so I can see, oh, it's coming out, it's coming out. So then I knew when I latched my baby, they're getting it out too. And then after they were finished, I would try to get out a little bit more as well, just because I like to see it. I want to visually see what's happening. And that was one way for me to make sure that I knew my body was working the way it was supposed to be working. If you want to learn more about what your baby needs at each stage, I got this video for you right here. Hope it helps. Love ya. See ya, pizza.